Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Well, this week, we're showing stuff from Blackie's Gathering. Now, very special guest, this is Mr. Bear, the Bear's Old Ways. Here in a minute, we're going to talk about his channel. Before we do, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, at the time of this filming, it's the weekend. And weekend, that number's going to be higher. The actual number is 15 to 29. Guys, anything over zero is just, it's unacceptable as a society, no matter what. And vets, all that means is this: we want to raise awareness, but we want to let you know we love you. Man, you have a place here. Now, I back the blue, and that can be controversial, and I understand it. My kid's going to be a cop about an hour and a half north of here. I have friends that are police. Not all cops are good. We know that. They're not all bad. We know that. How do you do it, Scab? Well, I try not to break the damn law, and when I do, because I accept responsibility. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. So, Bear, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Bear Brunson, and I have a YouTube channel called Bear's Old Ways. It's new. I'm probably 10 months old, 9 months old on YouTube, so it's growing. I want to get into things like woodworking and blacksmithing. Nothing elaborate. Okay, this is not This Old House or the Woodwright Shop or anything like that. Just stuff that people have forgotten how to use and how to build. I do hobby blacksmithing.
Okay.
I'm going to expand into that. My good friend and mentor Blackie Thomas has been instrumental in my channel, by the way. Kudos to him.
And you guys have a series together.
Yes. Yeah, it's called The Old Ways.
You're what, 37 or 38 episodes
39.
now? 39. Okay, I'm one behind.
We're probably going to shoot 39 this next week, and then we'll flip over to 40.
Okay.
Started out completely as a fluke, and really my channel has grown out of that series.
Yeah.
We're going to do some canning. He's very interested in doing that, and I've got some experience doing it, so we're going to throw caution to the wind and do the video. But in today's day and age, there's a lot out there that people have forgotten.
Yep.
We are so dependent on those little foam buckets at your big box store in the meat section.
Yep.
People forget how those got there. Okay, that piece of meat did not miraculously appear in that little foam bucket. It started off as a calf, grew into a cow, harvested for the meat, or a hog, raised, harvested, and processed. The meat just does not appear, and people forget that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting in a rabbit hutch, at least one rabbit hutch at my house.
Okay.
And chickens, and what else? There was something else I was going to put in there. I got to put my winter garden in too, and that will all be part of it.
So you're going to cover that on your channel?
We're going to try to cover all that on the channel.
Now the canning, guys, if you I know growing up in the South, my dad was is a preacher still. Mm-hmm. He became a lead pastor in Hazelhurst, Georgia, a very small town, not too far east of here. And you mentioned canning. I remember as a kid, that's how we made it through a lot of times. My mom would go out. Several of the men in the church had farms. We'd go out, pick it, shell it, can it.
Well, that's my problem. I have 4 children of my own, and I have 2 grandchildren. Now, my two oldest boys are grown.
Right.
But they still like to eat when they come home.
Right.
My youngest son is a freshman at Troy University.
Okay.
And all 3 of them are 6'4" and weigh probably in the neighborhood of 350 pounds. Well, my oldest one, he's lost some weight. He probably weighs in the neighborhood of like 280.
Okay.
I mean, they're big.
So
men.
They still like to eat.
They are big men. Filling them up has been a challenge. And I work for my local municipality.
Okay.
Doesn't pay a whole lot.
Right.
So we have to supplement here, there, and the other. One of the things that we're going to do canning, I have some deer meat that's been in the freezer, and it's time to get it out and either cook it or do something else with it.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is can it. Gonna pressure can that
Okay.
meat.
Okay.
And then by doing that, I buy myself about 3 to 5 more years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now when you pull it out of the can, you can prep it anyway.
When you put it in the jar,
Yep.
and pressure can it raw,
Yep.
it's cooked.
Really?
Because you're at water boils at 212.
Okay.
And you're under 10 pounds per square inch.
Okay.
Heat,
Okay.
and you're cooking it in the jar.
Okay.
So
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, you can put some salt in the bottom of it, and some pepper, some red pepper flakes, something to season it to your taste. Don't oversalt it. You can oversalt it real quick.
Right.
And put it in the canner and pressure can it, and you cooked it. It's like pressed ham.
Okay.
Like Spam or
Okay.
something.
Okay. Kind of like a potted.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. When you're doing ground beef, one thing that I would encourage you to do is to brown it first.
Okay.
It makes a delicious meatloaf in the jar.
Real. Yeah. Goes ahead and forms.
But you got to spoon it out to eat it.
Well, okay, so we got some canning coming, winter garden coming, some prepping stuff it sounds like coming, getting ready. And the other thing I want to do, guys, y'all seen the video with me and Dakota in the woods, and I want to do the same with Bear. Bear is a vast wealth of knowledge, and if you haven't seen he and Blackie Thomas, The Old Ways, check out his channel, check out Blackie's. It's just good info. It's good info.
Well, thank you. When we do The Old Ways, we've moved it from his channel to
yours.
mine.
I noticed that.
It premieres on my channel. He'll come back and he'll redo it later.
Right.
But the first run of the Old Ways series is now on my channel.
Good deal.
And we have a good time.
Now,
It's like
where?
I was telling Dakota, I've known Blackie almost 60 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys
we have
go
some
way
history.
back. Yeah, way back.
And he's the same today as he was 60 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine. Let me ask you this. From time to time, you're out at a creek. Where's that at?
That's actually on the edge of my farm.
Is it?
My family farm.
Okay. Okay.
That's Pea River.
Because I enjoy those. I
glad
like.
you do.
Well, I grew up. Any of us that grew up in the South, and I'm sure some of you northern guys, I live in Florida, but I am a river rat. I've always been a river rat. My grandparents were. So creeks, rivers, things like that. Man, it's just, I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, I got to ask you this. What kind of knife do you carry?
Depends on what I'm doing.
At work. Let's go with work.
Okay. I carry that one. Just dump in my pocket. And I carry this one. I've got another one that I carry, but I don't have it with me.
Now, I believe you showed me this last time I was here.
Yes.
This is your work knife, right?
That's the knife I carry with me at work every day.
It's 3 oaks. It's an assisted opening, correct?
Yes.
Liner lock.
Yes. Here's the unique.
I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind with this.
I'm gonna hand it to you closed.
I bought this knife off of the counter of my local pharmacy.
Right.
No kidding.
Really.
And it's it hasn't failed me. It's been 4 or 5 years ago that I bought it, and I use it with great regularity.
And here's the thing, guys. With that, we show all kind of knives. We show $5 knives. We show $500 knives. But I've said this a million times. I'll say it a million more. There are diamonds in the rough. You just have to find them, and that's a find. That's gold. Now, if it goes out tomorrow, you got your money out of it 25 times.
Many times over.
And this old timer, is this 3-blade Stockman?
That's 3-blade Stockman, and that's a knife that my brother gave me when I turned 21, and it's ridden in my pocket almost every day ever since.
Now, guys, this one means a lot to me. Some of you guys grew up with Case. Some grew up with Buck. My grandfather always carried an old timer or a Schrade Uncle Henry, the ones that were made in the USA. So when I see this, it's just nostalgic. It really, really is. Now, you have a fixed blade that I love, and you probably don't have it with you, or do you?
Which one?
The smaller.
No.
The paring knife almost.
Yeah. No, I don't have it with me.
What do you got with you?
I've got a William Collins.
When you show up to these things, you got to have a William Collins.
It's a William Collins Master Hunter.
Now, you've seen the video I did with William. Let me just say this. Getting to know William while I've been here and getting the thought process on these knives, and people, I've heard people say this, well, it's too complex. I have two. I'd almost be willing to send somebody one to check out, because the simplicity, the beauty of it is the simplicity. They're one of the easiest things to use. They really, really are. And William himself answered that question. There's not multiple grinds. There's not. Or there's not multiple angles. Very easy to use, but the handles, now you got huge hands. And that fits me, it fits Bear. I have the Saner Scout, which is reminiscent of this one, and I absolutely love it.
Well, the Blackbird is a little bit shorter.
Okay.
And the Master Woodsman is a little bit shorter.
Okay.
But this one, I wouldn't trade. This has a bit of a story behind it. The only place you could get these was from an outfitter in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while I was at work watching William's video about ordering them, I picked up the phone, I dialed them straight away.
Right then.
It's the first knife that was ordered.
What, does it have a number on it?
It does not have a number on it, but this is the first knife
production run
that left their shop.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was the first person to call and order the knife.
I absolutely adore the handles.
They threw in a sheath for nothing.
The sheaths, I don't talk about those a lot. The leather sheaths, and if you want information on those, I believe it's Randy's Stitchwear, Stitchgear.com.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I think I mentioned that last. Listen, thank you for coming on with me. Tell me 2 things that you want to see with your YouTube channel in this next year.
Well, of course, I'd like to grow. As far as content or
anything, where you see yourself going.
Well, I'm almost ready to retire.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I can keep myself going without a large hit when I retire, then we're doing good.
I like it. One way to do that, guys, is hit subscribe. It's one thing to shout people out, and I enjoy doing that. But I wanted to put a face, because I think I did a shout out for you a couple weeks ago. Matter of fact, I know I did.
Yeah, you did, and I do appreciate it.
No problem. But I do that, and I want to do that because the more information that you can get, especially some of these guys who do have links to the old ways, it's important. Technology, everything gets better and better and better, but never forget the basics.
Well, that's the thing. Can I?
Yes, please.
Technology is a wonderful thing until it quits.
That's right.
Okay. The cell phone on my hip, cell phone here on your hip, they're great and wonderful things, and you can access 2/3 of the world. But when they quit, it's just a glorified paperweight.
Yeah.
You still, if some enterprising, motivated individual popped a EMP over Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
We're
it's
screwed.
1883.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to live in that environment, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And like I said, when technology quits, you still got to live. You've got to eat. You've got to provide for yourself. You've got to have shelter. And that's what we're trying. That's what Blackie and I are trying to do. We're trying to remind people that, hey, life is fragile.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to know what to do.
Yeah.
To pick up the slack if something like that happens. We brought up hurricanes. We brought up floods. We brought up blizzards. Have something on standby.
Have a plan.
Have a plan. And plans don't have to be complicated.
Right.
We're not moving Patton in the Third Army.
Right.
We're just moving you, your wife, your kids to point B.
Yeah.
To survive.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Guys, check him out. Bear's Old Ways. It'll be in the title. Bubba, thank you. Always good seeing you.
I'm gonna watch that finger.
Here, watch that finger. Hey man, love y'all. I'm Scab.
And I'm not.
We're gone. Thank you, Bubba. We out. What, grandson? That's what I tell mine all the time.